104. Welcome to Raptors Tonight, live from Real Sports. I'm Randy Urban, joined by Jack Armstrong, Neil Rautins, and Paul Jones. Frustrating one. Jonesy, I'll start with you. It feels like a bit of a pattern this season. The Raptors are right there, 5 or 6 minutes to go, and then they give up these mini runs, these 7-1, 8-0 runs.
I'm going to go back to the start, Randy. I think this is the eighth game in December where they've trailed after the first quarter. They are now something like a minus 52 in those games.
Yeah.
And, you know, the 17-point lead deficit at halftime lead for Denver was a function of being down 9, losing the first quarter by 9, and then losing the second quarter by 8, right? So, I mean, you got to get off to a better start. You have to make sure that you don't have a big hole that you're trying to climb out of, right?
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job in the second half coming with the energy. I thought the zone paid great dividends for them. They cut the lead to 5. And then when you have such a short margin of error, you can't have empty trips. You can't have turnovers. You need stops. And, you know, Jack and Leo, we talk about it all the time. Shrinking margin of error, there's no room for mistakes at the end of the game when you've made so many at the start of the game.
For sure. But it is still frustrating because you do get it to 6. You get it almost 4, you know, and then you just kind of...
Yeah, but look what happens. Jokic scores, Jamal Murray scores,
Yeah.
Porter scores. Very, just like, boom, boom, boom. Easy, calm, and they just finish it, right? They're champions for a reason.
Yeah.
And they play solid basketball. Jokic is just and when you talk about Jokic, how easy he makes the game, Murray does too.
Yeah.
I mean, they play with such simplicity and effortlessness, but they're, and they just pick you apart. It's very, very strategic.
Yeah, I was thinking that watching the game. They seem very, Jack, unbothered by what the other team is doing. It seems like this team is so focused on their individual roles that they don't get phased very easily.
Well, that's what good teams do.
Yeah.
You're not going to speed them up, or you're not going to slow them down. They're just, they know who they are, and they know what their system and their style is, and they try to execute it. And I said it the other night, and I'll say it again. There comes a point where you just got to look at your starting lineup and say, you got to do something.
Right.
If the goal is to win, and the goal is to win, and every indication is they're laying it all out, they're doing everything they can, I think they really need to look at the starting lineup. And not only one, maybe even 2 changes. And they got to look at, what's our warm-up like? Are guys sweating? Are the guys ready to go? It's like a broken record. Every time Coach Darko's got to call 2 timeouts to throw his team a life preserver early in games, and that's frustrating. And that's on the players. I'm sorry. I mean, a coach is doing everything he can. And look, everybody shares in the success. Everyone shares in the blame. But at some point in time, in my opinion, I think you got to look at the lineup and you got to do something.
Do you agree with that, Jonesy? And what issues are you seeing from that starting group?
The issue, to me, the issue is simple. It's the energy.
The energy.
And lack of. They came out and they're up, 9-5, 9-7 early, and you're like, okay, maybe it's different tonight. And then turnovers, all of a sudden Denver's got the lead and you're down 9 at the end of the quarter. Like, it has to be sustained. It has to be from everybody. And your execution has to be there. You can't turn the ball over. When you have shots that are open, you got to knock those down. I mean, that's the crux of the matter too, along with the energy.
I'm still going to say that, and I've been saying this, that your team goes as your best players go. And if you're not having the energy, you got to look at your best players, right? And if they're bringing the energy, if they're playing at a high compete level, then your team's going to follow suit. And are we seeing that on a consistent basis? No, right? And it can be one guy, maybe another 2 guys. When is it 3 guys? You need your guys to come out and play. And I keep, like I said, what's the old saying? When your best player is your hardest worker, your best defender, you're going to have a great team, a great defensive team. when your best players are not bringing that every game, what
You're not going to have.
you're not going to get it.
I'll just say one thing. It's very easy to play from behind. There's actually less pressure.
Yeah.
I think this team, I said it during the game tonight, and I'll say it again. Their margin of error is slim. I mean, here they are at this point. You look at their record, they need to play with the lead. They got to get off to good starts and play with a cushion, meaning a 5-7 point lead, so now they can miss a few shots, miss a free throw, make a mistake here and there, and have cushion to stay competitive. But when that 7 point lead is a 9 point deficit, where do you go? Now, again, it's easy to play with a deficit. Guys come in, they play hard. But think of all the energy you're wasting coming back in games. Use your energy when it matters. Start the game that way.
But again, go back to what we started the conversation with earlier. When Raptors were right there, right? What happened? Jokic, Murray, Porter, boom, boom, boom. When the Denver Nuggets are making a run, your best players got to be Pascal, OG, Scotty, boom, boom, boom. You got to counter.
Yeah.
You got to be there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's gone. They have to be there.
Plus, the second unit got the Raptors back
I
in the
thought
game
the
tonight.
second
Coach
unit-
Darko went back with the starters.
I thought the second unit did a really good job tonight. Here's a bench that's been much maligned.
Very much.
And like I looked at one point, I thought, boy, Malachi's giving him great energy. I looked at the stat sheet. He was only 2 of 8.
Yeah.
But man, he was working hard. He was trying to run the offense, playing with energy, picking up defensively, made a couple of threes. I thought Achiuwa gave them something. Boucher, they went to the zone. They had some size out there. They started to chip away. And it's one of those things now, and I know, Jack, Leo, we've been there before, that those guys get you back in the game. Do I ride with them, or do I put my starters back in hoping they have seen the cue and seen the light and bring it?
From what I've seen so far, I'm riding more.
Well, and so the dilemma is, if you ride with those guys and you don't win, people go, why didn't you put your starters in?
Yeah.
And if your starters come in and they don't get it done, well, why didn't you ride with those guys? They were going
You have to
well.
give a number of games to out of respect for the starters and out of belief in those starters,
Right.
right? So when is that time now to? That's the difficult question.
Right.
but
Now,
Now.
you got 10 of the next 12 on the road. Your season, you're staring at your season right now.
Yeah.
Now.
and that's what's scary, because you're at home tonight. You're playing against the NBA champions. Was that your best effort? Was that like saying, oh, hey, we're going on the road. We better I didn't see that.
Well, look at Monday night against Charlotte.
Yeah.
They trailed after the first, the second, and the third. Charlotte with nobody. And you have a fully healthy team. Now, I think you got to do something to jolt your team. I think I've already I haven't even danced around it. I've point blank said it. I think you got 10 of the next 12 on the road. Look, Denver's good. The other night I'm watching them play Charlotte, and I'm going, hey, you got to do something with your starting line.
You know, my gut is, this is my gut, 10 or 12 on the road, it's just going to solidify what we already see at this point. It's going to solidify that. So it's a tall task. What's ahead of this team right now? It's a very tall task.
As a former player at a high level, Leo, in that locker room after a game like this, is this an opportunity to be more vocal, to say, hey,
Yeah, but
what would you say?
it would have been said already.
Yeah, the talk is
It's
done.
like how many times okay, we've already heard it. Guys go, we need to play harder. We need to do this. Okay, that sounds good, but you got to do it.
Yeah, the time for talk is done.
Yeah, so you're coming out in a game like this. If there's ever a game to just come out and say, let's go. This was a game, right? This is a game. So what?
Defending champs,
Yeah.
we got nothing to lose. We're at home.
Right.
Throw everything at them.
Yeah, and like you're gonna have the crowd going crazy. It's gonna be perfect, right? Especially since after this you're gone.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't get it here, how many more speeches are gonna work, right? And remember,
You got to win. You got to win the first quarter.
right?
The
And the games, they generally the games against the best teams, they've looked good. They came out with good starts, right? They had the energy.
you mentioned whenever things get a little rough for Denver, they go back to their big guns, Jokic and Murray. Jonesy, when you watch that two-man game, what are some of the subtle things that make that action so effective?
I just think the Jokic lays a good screen on people.
Yeah.
And that allows, unless you're, he does.
I'm laughing. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll hit you, and unless you know how you're going to play that, if Murray, Reggie Jackson, any of those guys come clean off that screen, now you're in trouble because they can pull up and shoot it. They can continue on to the basket. If they meet resistance, they just throw it to Jokic. The thing that I love about Jokic is that he has not, with all the perimeter stuff and the passing and all, he hasn't forgotten he's 7 feet.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I was going to wait for you to finish to say that.
Yeah.
He hasn't, he sees a small guy in him, it's like, there's no rush here, I'm going to turn and back my way down, and if they come with a double, I'll kick it out. If not, I'm going to get to the front of the rim and score.
How many bigs, and I'll include Embiid in this conversation, they're on the floor, they want to show you can shoot the jumper. I'll take the jumper. He'll take the jumper when it's there,
yeah.
But when you got an advantage, he's kicking your ass inside.
He had one sequence tonight on the offensive glass where it looked like a drill.
Yeah.
The ball went up, it was missed, he tipped it, tipped it again.
4 times.
4 times. The fourth one went in.
Yeah.
Like he's 7 feet. And no, if you haven't pushed him away from the basket before that, it's too late.
Probably did that Mikan drill nonstop growing up too.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Great stuff, guys, as usual. Let's pause that conversation right now and have our fan of the night.
Fan of the night,
Please
here we
welcome
go.
in
I love it, my
Neil
favorite segment.
Endren. Neil, come on in, buddy. How are you, man?
Sir.
Hey, have a seat. Have a seat.
Sir. Of course.
How we doing? Great to see you. How are you?
You know these guys. I'm seeing them around.
How could I not? How
Yeah.
could I
There you
not?
go.
These are
All
legends.
right.
Legends.
A
All
lot of
right.
people with some legends, of course.
Fire away. What do you got? You got a question, a comment for the guys?
I do, yeah. So Precious Achiuwa came off the bench today, had a great game, brought a lot of energy. I just want to know how could he be more consistent moving forward to bring energy off the bench, because we do need our bench to kind of bring some energy. So how could Precious be that guy?
I'm asking the same question. Remember, what was the one game where Precious was diving on the floor? What was that game? Remember, he was diving on the floor. Raptors won a game at home. I can't remember the game now. Remember, you said right after the game, you told on yourself, remember?
Yeah.
And the energy that he had in that game, offensive rebounds, diving on the floor, I'm going like, whoa.
Maybe you start him. Maybe you say to him, hey, look, I'm going to give you the opportunity to start, but understand something. You're the fifth option with this group. Are you willing to sacrifice and do all the dirty work, but you're going to get to have your name announced every night?
If he does nothing more the rest of the season but what he did in that one game like that, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I will take it hands down because it'll make a difference for the team.
I think he's playing really well, and I think they got I think they got to look at their starting unit and make changes.
There's no reason, Jonesy, that he shouldn't give you 8 to 10 rebounds every game, just with his athleticism.
He's extremely active, very athletic, runs the floor well. Like, he's a guy that's had 3 different roles in a 5-year career. Mm-hmm. And I think he's adjusting to this one well. You need more from him, though.
Yeah.
Maybe he does get a start, but he's got to come in kind of like Chris Boucher does. Like, just the motor on high all the way. And when he does that, he's really good.
Yeah, stir it up.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to stir up the
There you go. Let's
the
do
wheel?
it.
Try to get a prize?
Shot time.
Let's do it.
Shot
Let's
time.
do
We
it.
got to spin the wheel first.
Spin the wheel, get the ticket. Oh, no, wait.
There's no tickets up there.
Hey, there's still no tickets, Randy?
No tickets. Somebody wins the jersey, we'll get some tickets. So, there's a signed jersey. Go give it a good spin. We got some other things up there. We got socks. We got a mug. What do you want? What do you see?
It's getting cold, right? So I wouldn't mind some socks, right? A hoodie, I wouldn't mind a hoodie either.
All right. Gift card. Yeti cup.
Tickets.
All right. That's not bad. But you got to shoot for it.
Randy's got
For
it.
it?
Right here. I'll get on this side.
Randy, did you tell them why there's no tickets on the board?
Because you took them, Leo. Make this. There it is. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Here you go.
sir.
Neil. Come over here. Come over here. You got a shout out for anybody at home watching?
Shout out my boy Afi. Shout out to the family. Shout out to everyone. I'm young. We're trying to get better, but I'm happy to be here. I hope the Raptors are good too. We'll see.
All right, let's hear for Neil. Thank you,
Yes,
Neil.
sir.
Yeah. Good job, buddy. Good
Appreciate
job.
you guys. Happy to be here with some legends, of course.
All right, all the best.
Thanks for
Great
coming.
job.
Thanks for
Hey, I
joining.
need a Christmas album. I wanted to get a Christmas album.
All right. There you go. Well, there you go. I hope $30
You know what?
and
You
you make
go
a
to Real
donation
Sports,
to
come back here, he'll
the
sign it.
MLSC Foundation and Special Olympics
How about that?
Canada.
I'll give you one. $30 is yours.
Yeah, well, it's for charity. What I mean,
That's it.
there's no free lunches. I did it for free. Why do I,
Yeah, and you know what? You see Neil again, you'll sign it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Absolutely.
No nation like donation. No, they ain't here. Come on, Leo.
I'm with you.
I hear you.
I'm with you.
We shoot straight. We're from the street. Come on.
Malachi Flynn is even when he's not making shots, he's putting in some really nice performances. Do his minutes need an uptick?
I like what Malachi's doing. I think he's settled into that backup role nicely. It's one of the bright spots in terms of the bench development. I think he's gotten better consistently over the course of the year. And the performance, let me put this, the output isn't always there, but the energy is there, the effort is there. And more times than not, they're pretty closely correlated. Like, I thought he was good tonight for a real important stretch that helped get the Raptors back in the
The
game.
one thing, he's got to consistently make shots.
He's got to make shots.
And
Yeah.
he's right there. He's taking good shots. The
Yeah.
shots are there. But now that you're getting the minutes, now that you're getting the rhythm of playing, right, which was an issue in the past, now he's getting, he knows he's going to play. He knows he's going to come in. He's got to start making the shots because the Raptors just don't have enough shooters. So if he's not making shots, that puts you at a big disadvantage.
And sometimes less is more. When you look maybe playing with the better guy, maybe playing with some of the top guys more, and him just be in a distribution mode.
Well, he can break you down off the dribble.
Yeah, he can get in there and let those guys be the stars. I think sometimes we try to put, I cannot remember who said it, but when I was a young coach, the guy said, there is a big difference between your 5 best and your best five.
Yeah.
And to me, sometimes the obsession with playing your 5 best rather than your best 5
Go together more as a unit.
So to me, Lenny Wilkins used to say, when he was here, he used to say to me all the time, less is more, less is more, less is more. I'd rather have 2 guys on the floor that aren't going to try to do a lot and let the other 3 guys shine. When you have 5 guys out there that all think they're A-list guys, that's, I don't know. You got to look at some things.
All right, let's leave the Raptors talk for now. Go into a little overtime. We had Jokic in the building today. I think it's a good opportunity. We're about a third away in the season to talk MVP candidates, top 3, because in my opinion, nobody's really talking about Embiid, and he is just tearing it up.
is.
It's almost like people felt sorry for Embiid.
I tell you what, Jokic and Embiid, definitely. I mean, Embiid's
There's no
playing
one in
better
two.
than last year.
He is, Jack.
He had a
And
huge night tonight against the Timberwolves.
It's interesting to hear another coach come in here and talking about playing your best players. And he said one of the big things that's going on in Philly this year is Nick Nurse expects Joel Embiid to be on the floor and play. We're not soft-shoeing this. Hey, man, you're my best player. Get your backside out there and give it to me. And you're right, Jack. He is playing better than
They're
last
playing
year.
faster, too.
They are playing faster. And, Tyrese Maxey,
Maxey with the
they're
ball.
better without Harden. Those 2 guys, and I got to tell you, I don't know how much people are talking about it, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
Ooh, that's a good one, Jonesy.
he might be, when you think about the expectations, what he's done, where his team is, ahead of Denver, a better record than Philly,
Clutch performances.
very clutch.
Good
like,
point.
like to me, like winning matters. People bring up this argument to justify a guy. Well, hey, where would the Knicks be without Randall, or where would Dallas be without Luka? Well, they're 6th now. They'd be 8th. Like, it's no difference to me. But if you're 1 or 2 or even 3 and your team is playing well and you're a big part of that, Jokic, Embiid, Shea, those are my top 3 guys.
Think about the 3 teams. Think about the 3 teams. Embiid's team, Jokic's team, and Shea's team. Shea's a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
He's taking a bunch of kids to 2 in the West, right? He's finishing games. And I said it before, there's two guys in this league you can't change the way they play. Luka and Shea. Now, the one difference, Luka's a star, right? He's a star. He just kind of does things because he feels like doing it. He'll take some crazy threes. He'll take some crazy passes.
It's a Leo Rautins line. He does it because he can.
Yeah, he does it because he can.
Right.
And is it a knock? Yes. Because I think they would win more if he just did what was right. Shea does what's right. He could come down and do the same thing Luka does. I'll just shoot a 3 down. I feel like a 3. I feel like I'm going to throw his pass. No, Shea plays the game the right way. So you got 2 guys, you can't change their speed, you can't change what they do, but one of them plays the right way, and that's why his team's in the 2nd in the West.
You know, I wholeheartedly agree with these guys. I mean, it's they nailed it.
So those are the 3.
Is there anybody that we're missing? That would be my question.
Those 3 jump right off the page. I mean,
Like,
who do you got, Randy? Anybody
Well,
else?
I think those are my top 3, but you probably have to mention Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, you know that you're right.
They're top
That's
of
a
the
good
West
name.
right now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep it top 4. We'll make it a top 4.
Here's my thing with Edwards. They're winning. He's their leader.
But somebody gets it done on other nights too.
Yeah, there are more guys to help him get it done.
Yeah.
But that doesn't discount him or preempt him from being in the conversation.
I like where Randy. I like where we're at. We're 4 guys. They're the 4. What's the old line? We're in the right church. We got to find the right pew now, you know. But I think those 4 are in the right church.
Final question, real quick. We only got a couple minutes left. First game back from suspension last night. John Morant, game winner. He after the game, he was calling out. I kept the receipts, implying that he remembers everything everyone said about him.
Shut up.
Does it sound like he's playing the victim here?
Well, no.
Yes, it does to you.
Look, he is a joy to watch.
Yeah.
I love his game. I tell you what, I have so many of my buddies with young kids. They all love John. The kids love John Morant.
Yeah,
I mean, he's incredible. What got him suspended was self-inflicted.
Yeah.
So don't tell me about receipts and all that. You were a knucklehead. You did it to yourself. The only way you lose in a game of life is if you beat yourself. He beat himself. Grow up, shut up, play.
Yeah, you got the world by the short hairs. Don't blame anybody else.
As for his performance,
He's terrific.
he was terrific. And think about it now. He missed 25 games, not because of injury, but as Jack said, as Leo said, because of his own doing. It's not like a guy coming back from an injury.
He let his team down. He let his organization down. He let the league down.
He was still able to go to the facility, practice, be around his teammates. So, I mean, it was a terrific performance, but it's not like the guy's coming back from missing a year with an ACL or an operation, right? He was still in game shape. Terrific performance, still. Absolutely terrific.
Really great stuff from everybody here tonight. Next
Randy,
game for the
terrific performance.
It's Friday against the Philadelphia 76ers.
We're going to get some receipts for you,
7
Randy.
p.m. Eastern. Raptors tonight.
Randy,
Live on
get off
YouTube.
seats.
Shortly after the game.
Some receipts.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I want to see where the